Hey everyone, it's Mera Mangle.
And Chastity Valentino.
And welcome to another Mangled morning. Woo! I almost forgot I had to come to you. Sexual.
That's what they say.
Season 17. We weren't here last week for our recaps, so we actually have 2 episodes, a double dose of Season 17 to discuss, where they did the monologues. We'll touch on that. That lip sync, which I think the past couple weeks, the lip sync, the winner is
clear.
Yeah, and I think it's controversial in terms of the competition.
Yes.
But we'll get into all of that and talk about the makeovers. Did you see the preview for next week?
No, actually I didn't.
Oh, it's good. I have lots of pictures. I'll show you.
Okay.
Latrice is going to be there, and it looks like Latrice is doing the Tic Tac lunch for them.
Oh.
We'll get into all of that. But before we get started, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like the video, and join the Patreon where you can see all kinds of additional content you can't see on YouTube. Plus, you're helping support the channel. You can also support the channel by tipping on Venmo, Cash App, or the YouTube thanks, which we'll go over some of those at the end of the video. My horns are flopping around. Let me acknowledge how beautiful you look before we get started.
Thank you.
I said that when you walked in my house. I was like, "Whoa, oh, so soft and so lovely."
Thank you. It's been a very busy week for me. I've been multitasking, drag, also, I moderated a panel.
She did drag before here, like intellectual discussions.
Panel discussions
and then
at
she's
college.
Gonna do drag here, and then have to leave and go do a night show.
Yeah, so she's
Busy
very
day.
busy. But thank you for saying how beautiful I look. And you look like yourself.
You look like a hooker. Well, it's funny because you're running around the town like that type of girl.
Yeah.
But I'm dressed like her.
But actually, you do look really sickening. I really actually enjoy this look and that skirt. So if it's missing when I leave, I don't know.
She is a little slutty skirt, yeah.
Yeah, she's a slutty skirt, and that top is fierce.
And these used to fit my thighs at one point. Look at that. Loose. I did put underwear on.
But they also say that.
The girls had to get loosey-goosey for this interpretive dance on season 17. They were in pairs. Mm-hmm. They had to each do a monologue about some sort of like personal story. That was pretty much it, right? Like that was the prompt. And then the other queen that they were partnered up with did an interpretive dance to their story.
Correct. I knew we were in for a wild ride right from the jump because Sam was so in her feelings about Lexi picking Onya. And
oh yeah. I felt like that happened this week, but no,
because she brought it back up this week.
Yeah.
But she was bent. Mama was bent.
Right, she was still upset.
And she was like, I feel like I would have been in the top.
She felt like she would have been up there with Lexi. When Lexi even says out loud in front of the group, I'm riding your wave.
Yeah, I'm so glad. Thank you for letting me ride this wave with you.
I was disappointed. Like, I think that Lexi was, especially in the interpretive dance, was the standout at the dance.
Yeah.
So she's selling herself a little short.
But I do have some opinions for Lexi later, but not as far as the challenge is concerned in the makeover episode when we get there.
But I was very happy that Lexi finally got her second win. And I thought that they were by far the best pair.
And you could see that she needed that confidence boost. She's back. She's there. She's like, okay.
She's been like building slow momentum towards the end.
Yes.
Then you got Onya, who is just straight up steamrolling.
Yeah, she's steamrolling the competition, but also she's not afraid to go there and take it and like fully commit to.
She's not afraid to look stupid.
That's the thing, and you know when you're playing dress up, you don't be scared to look stupid.
I do it every day. I wouldn't be doing drag if I wasn't afraid to look stupid. Hello. And then the bottom 2 ended up being Lana and Sam, which Sam was so upset about being part. I mean, they were like the least connected in terms of like you could tell they don't, I guess, have that close of a connection.
They don't, but it kind of seemed like it grew throughout the like they did get to know each other better.
Sure, yeah,
and gain more understanding for each other throughout the episode.
I actually feel like both of them and even Jules and Suzie kind of missed the. It's like a lot of their stories were very touching, but there was some, like the way that Onya's was so funny.
Yeah, they missed. They missed.
Because even Lexi's was like, Lexi's story went nowhere.
Yeah,
she's lucky she did not win because of that.
It was more like they had.
Because they had this word. They had words. They had like a category.
Yeah.
And Lexi's was karma.
Yes.
We never found out what the karma was.
Never found out. But it seemed more of like a bonding moment for the other two groups versus like storytelling.
Okay. Yeah. No, I agree because
Yeah.
it wasn't good. It wasn't that. I would have rather them just done like on
Like, they got
All-Stars.
closer.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's something.
They got closer to each other, but they didn't really do a good job of telling each other's story. And then the runway was what
It's supposed to be ugly.
ugly drag, worst drag, however you want to describe it. Sam, what were you doing? You missed the mark, mama.
And like this particular one, a lot of the stuff that people call out that belongs to somebody, her sister, her drag mom, or whatever.
It clearly.
A lot of times I don't clock it right away, but it does. Sometimes it feels like off. This one you can clock right away because it's too big on her.
Yeah.
It looked like playing dress up in somebody else's drag, and it made no sense for the category. It was couture. It was horror couture.
Yeah, it was horror couture. It was not
Stunning.
worst drag. Like,
she said she was doing Lydia.
and here's the thing: if I live for like the pageant aspect of like her mentality was kind of like, baby, this is my worst drag. What do you mean?
It's too one-dimensional. Like her idea of that.
But you should have crafted something tacky.
Maybe she misunderstood the assignment.
Some of these girls' worst drag also kind of reminds me of their good drag.
Oh! And boom goes the dynamite. I saw a meme that was like, Corey King would have slayed.
Okay, she would have turned it, Miss Thing.
Lana re-wearing Candy's look, the pocket look. I agreed with what RuPaul said about, like, change it up in some type of way. Like, we've already seen it, so...
If we've already seen it, you need to put something on there that makes it your own. I think the same could have been said for Sam's look. You know, make it a little bit more original. I don't know if you got to see the review at Roscoe's where Sam and Trinity were there, and Sam talked about, like, you know, I'm not gonna lie, whenever I was getting ready for these runways, I went to Trinity's house, I went to Chantel's house, and I pulled things out of their closet, and, you know, put it in my suitcase to go. And Trinity was like, yeah, like, your first time on Drag Race, like, there's no need to spend a whole bunch of money on these runways because they're really not, like...
Well, and we know that, like, a lot of people do that, but I think the unfortunate thing is that those looks have been already so prominently featured.
Some of these girls go in debt.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
Going on to Drag Race. And, like, even Silky made a post, and she was like, there's no need to spend a whole bunch of money going on Drag Race.
And also, girl, you can go into debt just doing drag on the regular because you got to constantly reinvest.
For sure. But I think if you're going to pull something out from somebody else who has already been on the show, you need to tweak it so that they're not just like, now Miss Thing.
Like, for instance, when Naomi Smalls rewore Raven's look, she also was black and white.
Make it look more like of a homage than it is. I got on Miss Thing's
the
costume.
exact look. Yeah. My favorite was actually Lexi's. But also, it's because it's cute. You know, like, she looked adorable.
Yeah, it's cutesy. And I'm glad that it had, like, a theme, like a cohesion to it.
Suzie would, like, for me, with what the category is, that
she
was
went
just
for
so
camp,
damn ugly.
And it is hideous. But you want to know something? I dressed a local girl one time for a pageant. It was a Miss Merry Christmas pageant. And she wore something that looked quite a bit
How'd you let her walk out like that?
That's all she brought. I was just there to zip it up.
Right. I'm sure because we're like a week late, I feel like someone's probably made this joke, but I made it during the live that Onya to me is like, you know, when Kenny Davenport was the hooker that was set on fire, but she also was somehow some sort of a chicken. Well, maybe she was a turkey, and maybe this is her, and this is the origin story.
It could be. Do you know what turkey it reminded me of? It reminded me of B. Arthur on the Golden Girls when
Henny
she was
Penny, yeah. I was getting ready to say that, yeah. It sure does, yeah.
That's exactly what it gave me.
This lip sync. What was the song? It was Dua Lipa.
Uh-huh.
This was Lana's best lip sync of the season.
And they said, Mama, we're going to go ahead and send you packing.
I mean, I understood why, but...
I got it, too. It was Lana's time. She had to lip sync a few too many times. Sam's really been knocking it out of the park. For me, I get it. They did the lip sync like it has to happen. But I feel like RuPaul already had her mind made up before they lip synced.
Yeah. I feel like the past 2 weeks in a row, the lip syncs have been like that. Where, like, I'm just disappointed in the person that should be slaying it and that we've been waiting to see lip sync.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, okay, well, so Lexi's the only person, the last hope to be a good lip syncer in this cast.
Yeah.
Like, to be a star lip syncer. Because, like, Onya and Sam, I could already see them losing if it's a lip sync tournament finale.
Yeah, and Sam was like, oh, I'm going to take this skirt off.
After, she was popping. She was looking at her, and Onya was doing that, too, with Jules. And she also was, like, not trying to embody the song at all.
No.
Like, look at her face. Like, she wasn't... It's like she was, like, not taking it serious, or, like...
I don't know what was happening, nervous. But I was...
And then Lana was turning it out.
Yeah, Lana, like you said, this was Lana's best lip sync, and
I came to really like Lana a lot. I'm glad that
probably the last, like, couple episodes, I was really like, oh, Lana,
yeah,
you
like,
know what, maybe?
Like, normally queens that kind of fall into her, what I thought her story arc was going to be, end up being, like, the non-playable characters of Drag Race, where, like, we don't learn anything about them. They kind of just come and go in the middle. And I'm glad she hung around as long as she did, because I really, she's warm and bubbly and lovely.
I'm glad she hung around as long as she did, and we got to enjoy her in the way that we did, because now that opens so many more doors for her to come back in different franchises, such as, you know, All Stars and things like that.
With the All Star budget, have some looks together.
Yeah,
that are very different for her.
And she'll get a chance to watch herself and know what it's going to be the next go-round.
Have you seen those montages of every single week she'd say something like, I've never done anything like this. This is new for me. Like, girl, you're just wearing a dress. Like, I'm really going outside my box. I've never done this before. A lot of these parents on the makeover episode had not done drag before. Although was it Jules' dad that was like, I've done drag?
Yeah.
A lot of these were really emotional.
They were so emotional and pulling at my heartstrings, and I'll probably get emotional talking about them, but pull it together.
You would have thought when Onya saw her dad that he was, like, presumed dead.
Yeah.
Or she was just told she won $200,000. Like, she won the whole show.
I mean, to me, it seemed like having her dad there and having this opportunity was her win.
Yeah.
That was one of the
so you're saying she don't need the crown?
I think she'll still get it, but...
well, we'll get there, but I'm not so sure. It seems obvious.
As a person of color who grew up without a dad for a long part of my life, such as she did, not because my dad was incarcerated, he's just a POS. Watching this moment, this dad, you know, a black father coming on a drag race show, getting in drag, supporting his son, like, it was so much for me. Like, it was very emotional to watch, then to turn around and also watch Lexi's mom, and, you know, the moments of...
Lexi and Sam's mom were both, like, champions of their child's drag, you know.
Yeah, but
Lexi with the... I know what you're going to say.
Lexi and the, like, you know, being overly emotional about her mom, embracing her identity, using the proper pronouns, right. So not only is she accepting her drag, she's accepting her transition and who she is, and it was just very heartwarming to see these parents showing that kind of representation on TV, because so many don't have that.
I do wish we got to hear actually a little bit more, like, about that. Like, their journey to get where they are now, because it took a long time.
Yeah, and, you know, people
would get a little more right.
Even the fans were like, you know, Lexi, you got some splaining to do. You told us your mom kicked you out of the house. And two things can be two things can be true at the same time. It very well could have happened that she got put out, but they've rekindled and they're building their relationship. And it seems like from this moment they're building even more into their relationship. And
Lexi, one of my favorite, actually probably my favorite thing of this whole episode was Lexi having the realization that part of why she has this thing for Suzie is that she's like Suzie got to live the life she didn't get to.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was brilliant that she just talked that out.
Yeah, and the way she, like, you can just see it. Like she said, the light bulb moment, you saw it all over her face that, oh.
And I love that she's actually taking the time to, like, be like, why is this bothering me?
Yep.
Like, she's analyzing herself to be like, why am I picking on this girl?
And she realized that she made some choices.
There's a little envy there.
Yeah, there's a little envy, and, you know, that Suzie got to live the journey that she wanted to go on.
Right.
Now, Sam's mom reminds me so much of my mom. My mom is such a supporter of me and my drag and my transition. But in the beginning, my mom wasn't really a fan of me transitioning. And it was mostly because I was going about it all the wrong way, doing like black market hormones and not going to a doctor. And I just kind of like sprung it on her and was like, you either take it or leave it. And
well, I mean, to be fair to you, you know, like, it's not as if it's always been as easily accessible.
yeah.
So a lot of times that's what girls had to do.
And my mom also, like, it's an adjustment period. You know, I had to show my mom some grace because I had to remember she raised me as however many years as a son. And now I'm expecting her to change the way she looks at me, addresses me, the pronouns she uses, when she's talking about me in past or present. But now, where we are on that journey, baby, I wish somebody would try it. Baby Miss Kim would be on them like white on rice. She don't play that, and she doesn't play it about like my friends, my sisters, any of that. And she comes to the show and like Sam's mom said later in the challenge, like, my mom is kind of the mom for all the other entertainers who were at the show, and they're like,
I think Jules' dad kind of said something like it was kind of the same thing for them too.
Yeah, my mom's like that for the girls, and a lot of people love my mom. They always ask when she's coming, and what she's up to, and how is she if she hasn't been out. And some of them even have my mom's number, and they'll be like, "Oh, I texted your mom the other day," and I'll be like, "Girl, you did what?" All right.
If my mom walked in, it would be even a colder, chillier relationship than because there was one that was a little off, which was Suzie's.
Mm-hmm.
They just had a little bit more distance, and she talked about that.
Yeah.
But I would be like a bag of chips on UK season 1, the way she treated her mom if my mom walked in. That's was interesting watching some of this, where they do this kind of stuff, where I'm like, well, who the hell would they bring? Who
would they send?
I
know that they would probably send my mom, but I also I thought about that while I was watching it. I was like, okay, if Amerie came, I wonder who they'd send. If
you thought about me?
Yeah, and then I was like, I thought about other people too. Like, who would they send?
Because a lot of queer people still don't have, I mean, mine is because I'm queer and because my mom has her own issues,
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have any close relationships with family, and so those types of challenges, there are seasons where there'll be one person that has a friend, and that's probably what it'd be.
That's what I was getting ready to bring up. It's like I feel like this is the first season where it's all family
and all parents.
All parents, like immediate.
Yeah, because sometimes sisters will come or something like that.
Yeah, sisters, and then we've had friends, and and that's emotional because they look around the room and they see all this family, and their chosen family is there, but they don't have their biological family there. This episode, I think, meant a lot to a lot of people.
Nice.
To sit at home and watch and be able to witness. I hope
that
it encourages other parents out there to continue or to start to be supportive of their queer or trans or drag or whatever category of the umbrella they fall under. Be more supportive of their kids.
You know who was looking to get some stepkids was Law.
Baby Law Roach said, I'm trying to have your daddy. He fine.
Really hitting on Onya's dad for real.
For real.
Brought it up like 2-3 times. He saw that wild-ass picture because they did these photo shoots.
Yes, the JCPenney photo shoots.
That was really odd because it also seemed like that was part of the challenge, but random because we had no warning that those were coming.
Yeah.
But work.
Honestly, Lexi and her mom, their drag family resemblance picture is kind of sickening.
No, actually a lot of them are.
Yeah.
I think Sam's mom, talk about her face was the face.
Oh yeah, she was
not only did Sam paint her beautifully, but her eyes were so expressive. More than Sam's.
Yeah, she had the time of her life.
I pulled this from the workroom. Bitch, that's a queen I know. I'm like, who is that lady? I know her. I worked with her.
I do have to say this because I brought it up earlier and I said I finally have something controversial that I'm going to say about Lexi, and I'm shocked that I have not heard this.
I don't remember you said.
From Michelle Visage yet. I'm sick of seeing so much of the same silhouette and style from Lexi.
Well, Michelle did say what's with all the capes?
The capes and the lingerie. We can,
Right.
I need to see something. I want to see you step outside of that.
Sam gets the win. Did you agree with that?
Yes.
I thought that was justified.
They had the best chemistry. It was beautiful.
Her mom just was a star.
Her mom was a star, and they said, you know, it's giving Dolly Parton, and that's what she asked for.
She has more attitude than Dolly.
Yeah.
You know, she wants to be Dolly, but she ain't that soft. She's like the girl you don't mess with.
Oh, for sure. And now, as I reflect back on the episode, Jules...
I like the way you said that. Now, as I reflect back
on the episode, I remember Jules saying
pondering.
that her dad wanted a reveal, so she was going to make sure that happened.
That did not happen.
That had not happened. What had happened to the reveal? Because you took the breastplate off so that he could have a reveal.
Right.
No reveal had took place. And honestly, I don't know why she felt like if she sewed these bath mats together that it was going to...
I think the bottom two were correct.
I love the love that Jules' dad had for Jules and like coming in and being like, hey, queen, like, I live. Yeah. And I love the connection between Onya and her dad. But baby, them looks were hideous.
Yeah, they definitely deserve the bottom two. And this lip sync... I was looking forward to finally seeing Onya lip sync.
And I was disappointed.
Really disappointed. I was confused.
I was so confused.
And it was Amerie's One Thing, which is such a good song. I've been waiting for that. I love Amerie. And she's so underrated. And I think Jules did do the song well. But Onya...
Jules wore it out.
Yeah, she worked the stage. She went one into the other. And Onya was really focused on her.
I really think that if the storylines that took place with these families, the family aspect storylines of this would not have been a double save.
No. Also, I've been saying for a couple years, like on UK last year, it was an episode like this that was so good, and no one should have gone home. They should have done this, and I'm happy they're finally doing that.
But the lip sync was not double save.
We should have done a lip sync for the win or something. Some girls have the light bulb, their movement. She had sticky fingers, or she needed what was she doing?
And she was like, "I'm serving camp," and I was like, "It's giving confusion."
She looked like she was mad. Also, part of that is her eyebrows, the way they were painted, but she was intense. She was like Sunset Boulevard. Like, girl, what are you looking like that for? You're really upset about it's just this one thing.
And I was
one thing is you're in love. You don't look in love. You look angry.
I was kind of
and confused,
bummed that both the queens who had dads representing for them had to lip sync against each other because
oh, that's true.
Maybe it comes from me not having the best relationship with my dad. But to me, it just is such a big moment. I agree. A lip sync for the win, and maybe donating to a charity such as Transparenthood.
Yeah, that would have been nice. But they all did get money though.
Or Transparent. Sorry, not Transparent.
Didn't all the parents get money? Yeah.
Yeah.
During the Patreon chat, people kept saying you think next week there'll be a double save? Because that happens a lot. At that final one before the end, instead of going down to the top three, they keep the top four. And so I actually kind of liked it. It was a little bit subversive to do it this week.
Yeah.
And it was a great episode to do that. Very mushy.
I liked that happened. It was cute, but Jules won that lip sync.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. The way that Jules did the reveal when she took the coat off, the wig came off at the same time was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And then Onya kicked it behind the judges. We literally see it go behind them.
Football punted her wig, and now that was a moment. That was
her highlight.
Because I was like, okay, maybe it's gonna turn around right.
That was for her dad. The sports.
I was like, okay, maybe this is one thing that got me slipping. And I was
we just got more of this. Just the way she interpreted the song was interesting, and that you can see that's clearly her. To me, that's what it felt like. It felt like that's probably her standard lip sync, at the bar. And it probably is cute in a small bar for her song she picked out.
Yeah, for a song she picked out, probably.
But it wasn't cute on this day.
This was not it.
But Lexi's reaction for the double save, the drama. Oh,
she is so dramatic.
That's a painting.
And the Lexi and then Sam bitch, what?
Sam's holding her trying to keep her together. You'd think she had something to do with it.
Okay, but Sam's looking you mean to tell me I gotta send somebody else home?
Mad. There's still people there, yeah. Next week is a big challenge. And I think it's Ru didn't say this in the preview, I don't believe, but I would assume it's the last Maxi-Challenge. Typically, there's 16 episodes, and 14 is the last regular challenge. Ru says something like, at least one of you will be eliminated, threatening that maybe 2, but I doubt it. Because I'm sure they'll do a lip-sync tournament at the finale or something. So what they're doing in this final challenge is they're basically auditioning to be on RuPaul's Drag Race Live, which is a fantastic idea and real.
Yeah.
Like, really something they can do. So they have to do a photo shoot with the pit crew. They have to be interviewed with Latrice, which if this is the last Maxi-Challenge and the last one before the reunion and finale, then that's their Tic Tac lunch, which is fierce for Latrice, but kind of disappointing for the girls.
Yeah.
I love Latrice, and I would be very happy to meet with her, but then I'd probably get home and be like, wait, I didn't have a Tic Tac lunch with Ru. And be like, oh, wait, the Latrice thing was that?
Okay.
But I do think Latrice will be so good at it. I'm excited to see it and see what it is for real. And Tracy Ellis Ross is there. You know, the lady who guest judged this week, she would have been better on like a comedy challenge or like a sitcom challenge.
Because like anytime
we've had a lot of acting challenges. But Tracy could do any of them, although she should be there on like a sitcom challenge too.
Yeah, but like also Tracy Ellis Ross does so much. Like she very
and her mom's
wide.
Diana Ross, so she knows performing.
Baby.
But she's like a sitcom icon.
She is.
She's one of those people that like, why did she never get an Emmy for either one of her shows? It's just
my girlfriend.
She was never even nominated for that, but she was for Blackish quite a few times and never got it.
Did you watch Girlfriends?
Oh yeah.
Oh baby, who were you?
Probably Joan. Her. Like that's the character I like the most.
I think I was Lynn.
You're not that much of a hippie.
No, but she was just.
She
was ditzy and a slut.
What was the one girl's name? The Tony.
Tony. Yeah,
girl, you're Tony.
I'm Tony.
You're Tony.
I think I'm Lynn. Okay, Chloe can be Lynn.
Chloe and Fabrielle are kind of Lynn.
They're Lynn. I'll be Tony.
I don't think they're girlfriends' characters.
Okay, they are definitely designing women.
No, they're like they could be lots of things, but
the facts of life.
That's babies. There you go.
The facts of life.
There was one of Chloe's first episodes back in 2020 on here. She was going on and on about Hannah Montana. I was like, I watched Facts of Life. That's my reference to your reference.
You take the good, you take the bad.
You take them both, and there you have
the facts of life.
But they're also going to, of course, do like a big Vegas group number. So they're going to sing and dance. I wonder if they'll write verses. They probably won't.
It could be cute for them to write their own verses. Right
because also we haven't got like an actual girl group challenge. There was one early in the season that was like acting, like a comedy.
Yeah.
Girl group, but it was not a.
We didn't.
I want a normal girl group.
Yeah. So I kind of hope they do.
And we'll just have one girl group.
Yeah. I like it when they have to write their own verses. So
with Sam getting the win, she's now at 3 wins. Onya 4, but they both have 1 bottom each, and then. With 2 wins each, 0 bottoms, Suzie and Lexi going into this last episode. And then Jules, 1 win and 2 bottoms. I did another poll on Patreon. We did one a couple weeks ago. I thought, well, now we're at the top 5. Let's take a look. Mm-hmm. And Onya Nurve is still sweeping the poll with 80%. And Lexi is the runner-up with 7%. I'm surprised that...
That's such a drastic...
That it's such a sweep. Because I feel like, even though, like, Onya is... amazing at the challenges. She reminded me of like Ginger Minge or Ginger Johnson from the UK. Like they're professionals. Mm-hmm. Like she could be a professional drag queen actress.
Oh, for sure.
But there's something about Lexi's art.
Excuse me.
That was very unladylike. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I thought you were going to yawn and you burped instead. But there's something about Lexi's arc that does get, especially like the way she had that realization about Suzie and overcoming that and figuring that out in this episode, like, to me, that's a winner arc.
Yes.
And if it does come down to a lip-sync tournament, I'm thinking she's going to be the girl.
I know what she's capable of in a lip-sync.
Because she did lip-sync episode, for the win, episode 1, and wasn't she really good in that? Mm-hmm. Wasn't that, like, the best lip-sync of the season?
Mm-hmm. Maybe Anya's saving something up, and she's like, I'm just going to, halfway show you what I'm capable of this lip sync so that like when I get to the finale.
I mean, theoretically you could say that Sam and her did that, but like that's a real dangerous thing to do.
That's
and it disappointed all of
game to play.
I mean, the community's disappointed. The community's disappointed. Oh my god, that sounds so dramatic. The community is disappointed in you. I mean, but for real, like the fandom. That's a better word.
The fandom's
yeah, just like lackluster because we haven't had any great lip syncs this season, which is weird.
Now my question is, who's the top 4?
Well, I mean, next week is it all singing, dancing challenge. I don't know, because I feel like they all could do it. I mean, math-wise, Jules feels like and it does feel like we've seen everything she can do at this point. Covering the season, early on, I was like, Lexi and Jules, even when there was like 12 of them, I was like, they're the 2 that I could see winning this whole thing. Mm-hmm. But it was from the roast, that was a turning point for Jules' arc for me. I have not seen her in that winning, I feel like we've seen all her tricks.
Yeah, I think Jules will probably go home next. But if Onya pulls out another bad runway, it's curtains.
Also, with a lot of these girls, there's not a good time to have a week lip sync. So, I think whoever next week...
It's not a good time to have a week anything.
Right, but, damn, what is with these lip syncs?
Get it together, girls.
In some weeks, it's a weird song. But, this was a great song.
This was an excellent song. This song is drag... drag excellence. It's a staple in drag.
And she has lots of great albums. I could do a video just talking about Amerie being underrated, but
okay,
that's for a different day. I hate when people are like, oh, just Beyonce light, Beyonce ripoff.
Amerie
listen to her music and she has a distinct voice.
Don't be afraid to touch.
I love that song.
Don't you think a girl like me should be
touched? Gotta work.
I just love Amerie, okay?
Yeah, let's just do that. Let's just listen to her and go home.
Okay.
At this point, whoever gives me a good lip sync, give them the crown.
Okay.
And a lot of people were talking about, remember last year for 16, they did not do a reunion episode. They did a lip sync tournament. Mm-hmm. And that was fantastic because we had amazing lip syncers all season. I don't want to see that from this group. I've seen enough.
I think that enough has happened in this group of girls.
It's been good drama.
That there has to be a reunion.
I want to see that. I do not want to see them do a lip sync tournament. That would just be just a wet fart.
Just a wet fart.
Speaking of wet farts, let's get into this runway. Now, the runway was actually fun. The queens that were in the top, Sam, Star, and Suzie Toot. Sam, totally the one, totally the top. No question, she won the makeover hands down. You can do it on behalf of Fabrielle. Duo. Yeah, I mean, it was clearly her. And it was something that it did finally feel like something different that I hadn't seen that felt like it was her. I like the acid wash jean with the kind of almost Madonna bra.
Yes, it was so country couture.
One of my favorite looks of hers of the season.
Yeah, come on. It was giving Cowboy Carter.
And her mom just was the one.
Yeah.
I was surprised at how much they liked Suzie's. Law really loved it.
It was cute. It was almost like...
Well,
it was mother-daughter, but also like Suzie being the mother and her mom was actually the daughter. It was cute. It was cute.
Yeah. It
was meh.
Lackluster.
Yeah.
Lexi was safe, but actually, they kind of made it seem like she might be in the bottom, too.
Okay, because they were like, yes, it looks cute, but you guys look like you could just be homegirls going to a lingerie party.
Right. They were like, you're just a couple of sluts.
Like I said earlier, I just need a new silhouette. I need a new gig. But I can't say silhouette because clearly Lexi's padded right here.
Yeah, you're right.
The silhouette is different, but it's just the same concept. The cape.
Yeah. And it was one where, when they first turned the corner, I was like, oh, I love it. I love the colors. But then the longer you look at it, you're like, ooh. It's just stuff glued to a corset.
But I do love the hair.
Yeah, the headpieces were fun. I thought her mom's beat was beautiful.
She was painted, honey.
And the bottom two that we said was fully deserved. Jules pulling that classic, tint for the makeover. Yeah. I feel like it's such a cop-out.
It was, you told us there would be a reveal.
Right, something went wrong.
The only thing you revealed was why you should be in the bottom two. Maybe... Dad didn't feel comfortable in the lingerie that was underneath. I don't know. But the reveal did not happen, and I mean, he was very energetic and charismatic on the.
They could have had, because it's so big, they could have literally had any costume under those. It didn't have to be something revealing.
But these next two.
Now, I don't know what happened here.
First of all, Onya, why is your skirt on backwards?
I didn't realize that. What is the story? Like, it's giving like a princess villain.
It is a matronly type of dress. I don't know who told her it looked cute, but they lied to her several times.
She should have put that back on the rack.
She should have put that back on the rack.
Not because it's made for a beautiful woman, it's because it's made for the Renaissance fair or something.
Yeah,
Renaissance princess fair.
It's hideous, though. It is.
It's like steampunk. Like, but why? We've never seen her do anything
but
like
why
this.
Why? Why?
They were having a good time.
Because I gotta get it out. Because now that I've seen it, I can't unsee it. Why does Onya look like she's trying to be the Black Princess Peach?
That's a lot. You're giving her a lot of credit.
No,
I don't see that.
That gives me Black Princess Peach.
She looks like she ain't been out the house in a while. And I could, as someone who hasn't been out the house in a while, I can say that.
But the skirt's on backwards.
I did not clock that, and you can clearly see that here, unless this picture's just like really deceiving.
I watched it on the runway. It's on backwards.
I just don't get it. It was a wild choice, and just this aesthetic was weird for her. I mean, I guess that's another part of why I can't envision her being the winner of this season. She has no distinct brand in terms of the look, because she's all over the place, and they're kind of rough sometimes, like Ginger Johnson, like Ginger Minge. You know, that's why. Well, Ginger Johnson did win, but that's I think why it's kept Ginger from winning sometimes.
This is one of the ugliest.
You can slay the challenges, but like the winners have brands, and they are like iconic brands. I can't see that yet for Onya, and I'm saying yet, but there's only 1 week left. I don't think it's gonna all come together next week. It'll all make sense. He's like one of those memes. What's the worst though? What's your bottom?
Onya and Nunya.
And I don't know if you saw this. Why does Onya have flames on her shoe? What the fuck?
It's all terrible. It's just awful.
Oh.
You know what's not awful?
The YouTube things.
Oh.
Which is where we're at now. Julia coming through for us every single week. I really appreciate it. It's keeping this little channel a-chuggling. We're like putting the coal in as we're trying to make it. So Julia really does, every little bit helps. Every little bit that people send in help. And then Brando the Mando said, I would love to see anyone from Mera Mangle on season 18. One of you girls would kill it, Mera and Fabrielle, especially. Oh, shit, you left out on that. Speaking of which challenges would y'all win? Which challenges would you... It's hard to say which ones you'd win, but which ones you'd be excited to do. I see you winning some sort of dancer, musical...
Anything choreography related.
Right.
And probably the makeover challenge.
Okay. Yeah, I could see you slaying that, obviously. I'd be most excited for any sort of improving.
My problem would be exactly what some of the girls' problem has been over here, and I'd be too inside my head to let myself look stupid or, just let go.
This is the problem. You've been beautiful your whole life.
Yeah.
So you have to overcome that. I've never had that. So I'm not afraid to just look stupid.
I don't know. If you scroll back, you'll be like, she was not beautiful.
I was there the whole time. I was literally there the whole time.
She didn't know what she was doing with a paintbrush at one point.
Sometimes it was a little heavy.
No, girl, there was a time where I had the McDonald's eyebrows.
And, I would love to do... It's going to sound shady to the show, but I would love to do, the SNL challenge or an acting challenge if it's well written, but I'd be so mad if I get there and I'm like, this is one of the bad ones. Oh, because it's so rare that they're, really good. But... occasionally, it'll be legendary. It'll be so good, you know?
I would also I think I'd do well at the reading challenge.
I think Chloe would do great at the ball. Any sort of look or design challenge.
Yeah. Look or design.
I would love to... I think Fabrielle, too. They both have,
I think Chloe would do good at the makeover challenge, too.
Absolutely. Because that's another, look... Because everything she's going to bring is going to be incredible.
Yeah, and...
Fabrielle also would be... She'd be big competition for you at the musical. Because she has a musical theater background, is also a dancer.
If it comes down to, if we got to sing, she might get me.
Oh yeah, she sings live now.
If we got to sing, she can get me.
I have a beautiful voice, but I choose not to use it because I feel like I want to leave something out there for the girls.
That's right.
You know, I can't have it all.
She'll come out there, baby, lock the doors and turn the lights down low.
What the hell? Old Man River. That's what you sound like. Well, we are going to head out of here for now. I have one last thing to say today. Glad you got to see us. Bye. Now I got to burp. I was trying not to burp and try to get through it.